Me and my Grandma poker peas are just chilling. Yeah, she allowed me to hold her today. I don't know the gender 100% because she's never molted for me, but she just kind of has that look like a girl. But hopefully I'll know in the not too distant future for sure. But for now we'll call her a she. Isn't she gorgeous? She's laid back most of the time, but there have been times where she did want to be held, and I respected her wishes and let her alone. But today she was more willing. The Grandma Stolas, you just never know with them, especially. They could be moody. One day they don't want to have anything to do with you, and the next day they're, content to allow you to do this. Yep. Let's see, how big is she? I'd say about 4.5 inches. So she's about halfway there to being full grown. Thereabouts. Because they get to be about 8 inches or so? Females. Yep. Look at those golden knees. Very good beginner spider. Simple to care for. They like it dry. They hate wet substrate. Just give them water to drink in a water dish and they're good to go, but don't be surprised if they bury the water dish. But you just have to be persistent in cleaning the water dishes out and filling it up again. Because they need water to live. But yeah. She's doing awesome. She's really laid back most days. Yeah, so I just wanted to show her off a little bit. Alright. I thought I'd hold my larger Aphonopelma albopilosum. I've had her for quite a while. She was one of the first ones I got. Got her back in, I guess, the winter of 2011, or maybe early 2012. I think it was 2011. Got her as a 1-inch. Well, no, maybe she was 2 inches. Well, somewhere between 1 inch and 2. And here she is now, about the same size as the last one, about 4.5 inches. Yeah, she was a little nervous. She spread out her chelicerae just a little bit earlier, but she's calming down. And she just does that. See, it kind of opens up a little bit, then it closes. She calms down. One of the tricks to handling a tarantula is making your hand seem like it's a tree limb or, the ground or something. That way they're not as motivated to bite if they think that you're, the object that's under them is just a tree limb or ground. Don't make any jerky movements. Don't hover over them. Just be very calm. And they will be calm. But of course, I'm just handling the ones that are on the docile side. I don't even attempt to handle ones that are skittish. Also, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and had recently fed your tarantula. That way they're less likely to want to bite you because out of a hunger, like a feeding response. Kind of the same reason why you like to feed your females before they mate with the male. Less likely to want to eat the male that way. Well, I think it's a good idea to feed your tarantulas before you handle them, because they may be less likely to bite you then too, because of that same reason. That's just my 2 cents worth. Take it for what it's worth. I know some people don't approve handling tarantulas, and that's okay. I respect that. As long, my opinion is as long as you don't overly stress the animal, you're not doing it too often, I think it's okay. But you can see she's calm. She's calmed down. Like I said, she keeps it spread just a little bit. She's, most of the time she has allowed me to hold her. There was maybe 1 or 2 times I declined holding her because she seemed a little extra moody that day, and so I decided against it. But today she was fine. Just, a little nervous. But other than that, just fine. She's definitely calming down. She really is a sweetheart, though. So, yep, she's got some more growing to do. She's a subadult. Trying to think how big she would get. What, about 6.5 inches, something like that. She's a sweet girl. Just gets a little, nervous sometimes, as you can see. See her chelicerae spread a little bit still. So she's still a little on edge. But she's taking it like a champ, aren't you, girl? Yeah. She's one of my favorites. She's a sweetie. Alright, well, let's get this camera out of her face. Move on to something else. Here's my larger Aphonopelma seemanni. She, suspect female, has her moody tendencies, so I definitely had to be a little bit extra careful in testing her mood before getting her out. Today she was accepting of it, but she has thrown up threat postures before, and that's why I have to be a little extra persistent in making sure that she's really okay with me picking her up. But yeah, today she is. I keep hoping to get a molt from her, but seemannis, my goodness, they're very slow. When she was a little baby, she grew pretty fast, but then once she became a juvenile, she really slowed down drastically in her growth. I got her as a 1-inch or 1.5-inch sling. Oh wait, not this one. I'm sorry, I was mixing up. I'm thinking of my other one. This one I actually bought at a reptile show last summer. So I've almost had her about a year, I guess you could say. Yeah, but this one's never molted for me. I was thinking of the other one that I have. This is a suspect female, but like I said, she's never molted, so I don't know 100%. She's probably I don't know. Do these guys get to be about 5 to 6 inches, I'm thinking? Well, she's got a little growing to go. And then she'll be an adult. Yeah, I do think she's, these guys take forever when they're in pre-molt. But yeah, I think she could definitely use a molt. But yeah, she can be moody. But she's taking it well right now. Sometimes I catch her in her little skull hide. But most of the time she's out and about digging. They like deep substrate. These are very easy to find spiders in the U.S. And they are native to our country. So they're all over the place. Pretty affordable because of that. Really cool teas to have, despite being as common as they are. I mean, they're fun to watch excavate their enclosures, and their mood swings are interesting. They eat well. Well, the seemannis do. Can't say the same for chalcodes. But, yeah. They live a long time. Maybe not as long as your brackies, but, well, I don't know. They're pretty close to being able to. They got a long lifespan. Well, girl, I appreciate you letting me hold you today to show you off to your fans. So now we'll get the camera out of your face. Thank you for putting up with us today. Well, here is my very young juvenile Brachypelma. Is it called Humari now? Used to be called Smithy. This is probably the name change that annoys me the most, because I mean, this is such a well-known spider, and you just hate, you know, once you get used to a name, you don't want it to change. And especially, you know, spiders so well known and popular, you know, like the Smithy. But apparently now it's a Humari, am I correct on that? Most people seem to think so. But this one here has been in pre-molt and fasting for quite a while now. You know how brackies are. They take forever to molt once they're in pre-molt. But yeah, I don't know the gender of this one yet. I hope this one turns out to be a female. The last one I had was a male, but he died unfortunately soon after a molt. Someone thought he had DKS, but I don't know. Maybe that's what killed him. I have no idea. It's very hard to kill a brachy. But this one's doing awesome. Doing awesome. You know what, now that I think about it, my last one that died, I wonder if that's the one I suspected had a bad molt, like as in part of the molt got stuck on the book lungs. I'm not sure if that one was the one or if it was a different one. Sometimes fluke things happen like that, and it's really awful when it does. But it's just one of those things that it just happens sometimes. Moltings can be kind of scary because you never know what the outcome will be. But most of the time they work out, but there are times they don't. When they get stuck in a molt and die, or they don't molt well and they end up losing limbs in the process, and like I said, with one of my teas, had a book lungs blocked and probably suffocated to death. But most cases, moltings work out. So hopefully we'll be more successful with this one. It's a sweetheart. For now, we'll have to see what the mood's like later on. These teas tend to be very hair flicky. This one, not a whole bunch yet. But as it gets older, probably will. Brackies are known for that. But another excellent beginner spider. In fact, all of the ones I've shown you thus far are good beginner spiders. Well, there you go. Just another look at the Smithy, or Humari. It's going to take me a while to get used to that name change. Alright. Let this one go back to doing its thing. Here's my Phrixotrichus scrofa, Chilean copper. That nice mirror patch there on the abdomen. Very beautiful. Another one I think will molt in the not too distant future. Another good beginner tarantula. Easy to care for. Pretty laid back. Good eaters though, man, they are. Aren't these gorgeous? It's got a big booty. Can't feed this one much more, and it won't be able to lug that sucker around. Yeah. They're real lookers, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I startled you there. Yep. A little bitty thing. Just a little 2-incher here. A little bitty baby. This is the next day. My last video ended abruptly because my battery died and I had to charge them, and it was already late, so I figured I'll just do it another day. Here is my most special tarantula in my collection, Grammostola porteri. Very first tarantula I owned. I thought this would be my only one. And then I got 2. And then now I have like 80 something, I think. So let me warn you guys, if you're thinking about getting into the hobby, one will not be enough, just like, eating chips. One will not be enough. So it's all her fault. Most of the time she lets me hold her. But she has told me no a few times before too. Grammostolas can be moody, as we know. But most of the time she's a sweetheart. And she's webbed all over me already. I've already held her for a few minutes. And she was webbing me like crazy. And she's gorgeous. She went through a huge fasting period one year. think this was, when was that? 2013? No. I don't remember now. But she went a whole year without eating. And they're known for that. And her abdomen stayed healthy the whole time. You just have to make sure they have water. So if your tarantula fasts, especially if it's a Grammostola species, don't be surprised. If you want eating machine tarantulas, get you a GBB, green bottle blue, or get you a Agenicolata, or any kind of Acanthoscuria for that matter. Brachypelmas are pretty good eating machines. Lasiodora eat really well. But the Porteries, not so much. But of course there are exceptions. Yeah, she was crawling all over me earlier, so she's finally being still for our video here. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I got her in the summer of 2011, and these guys grow very slowly. So out of the years I've had her since 2011, she's only molted for me 2 times. I have no idea how old she is. She was already, I guess, subadult when I got her. So I have no idea how old she is. She's probably got a few more years on her. Cute little walk. Alright, well, just wanted to show her off for a little bit. My Euaphyllus species green decided to be sociable today. Again, this one can be moody sometimes, but this one has an adventurous spirit. So I think it is more curious than bitey. But doing fine. I keep hoping this one will molt for me. Because you see the abdomen's darkening and a little swollen, and colors aren't as vibrant as they usually are. I got this one at a reptile show. Never molted for me yet. I think I got this one, was it last summer? Maybe? Last spring? Very good eater. He was very accommodating today and letting me handle this one. I'm thinking this is a female because if I'm not mistaken, this might be the largest they get. So she already may be mature, I think. I don't remember how big they get. Not too big, right? 5 inches or so, maybe. In the right light, you can see the green on the femurs. Even that's not as vibrant as it usually is. She could already be old. I don't know. But I thought she was so beautiful, and I love the Euophlus genus. So I really had to get her. And I'm glad I did. She's been very nice. Very nice spider to deal with, and a great eater. Beautiful. She has her skittish moments. But she's not as skittish as my blue. And my red one is just a little tiny baby. So that one's really too young to be able to tell what that personality will be like, but very docile. I'm sure the red one will be, just like all the others. That's funny, she got one leg in the air. But yeah, I thought I'd show this one off too. She's a sweetie. I don't handle her as much as some of the others, only because she does have her flighty, skittish moments. And I have to end up corralling her too much. But I think the pre-molt could be slowing her down a little bit. See, the bottom part of her abdomen is not as quite as dark as the top part, so we're still working on that pre-molt. As she ate in the last feeding video, even still. Well, there you go, Euophlus species green. Oh, when I was putting my porterie away back in her enclosure, she wanted to come back out. So apparently she liked the change of scenery today. She actually got on, got out of her enclosure and got on the floor. So I do think sometimes even your little creatures like a little change of scenery sometimes. Depending on what their personalities are like. Obviously some don't want to be messed with at all and just want to stay in their burrows most of the time. I wouldn't be handling them anyway because they're typically the old world tarantulas, and I don't care to receive a bite from those. I mean, I don't want a bite from any of my teas, but especially old worlds. No way. Alright, well, I guess that's all of this one. Alright, we'll move on to something else.